my goal when we walk back into this house is to be this the first time in my life walking into a done house. I've never had that experience. So, yeah, I would like to have that experience. I would love to have, for my kids to have that experience where they're not living in a house where it's always something broken. Hi everyone, I'm Angelina and this is Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just as unique as us. As you can see, this week we are not remaking clothes. Normally I try to give you guys tips and tricks on how to sew your clothes, how to use cheap thrift store clothes in order to remake them to look designer. So I actually did the same thing with the house. 15 years ago, I bought a foreclosed bank-owned property. Well, I won't say me and my husband, my new husband at the time, we bought this house in Houston, Texas. And so my purpose for this video is to, one, show you guys the progress of my fixer-upper, and two, give you guys some tips and tricks, some knowledge, some things to think about before you purchase your own fixer-upper. All right, so let's go back. I think my story is a little bit important to some things that you can learn as you're thinking about whether a fixer-upper is right for you. Like I said, 15 years ago, my husband was just getting out of the military. We had just gotten married, and we decided not to go home to Chicago, Illinois, which was home for me, not for him. But we decided to move to Houston, Texas. So we bought this house. It was bank-owned, foreclosed, and I'll tell you, it was bad. There was a pool out back. That was one of the selling points because, you know, I'm coming from up north. I thought that, you know, that was like some rich people type stuff. No, you want to look at the condition of the pool. If you're coming from up north, that's a big red flag. But that's not what this video is about. But the carpet upstairs was sloshy. The toilets were horrible. There was no flooring on the first floor, which should have been a dead giveaway that there had been flooding. It wasn't disclosed to us, but we bought it anyway. And so we got our loan for just the amount of the house, nothing extra. And that would be my first tip. That's my first regret with the house. We were young, we didn't have any money, so we were just trying to keep it to the minimum. We were both college educated, so we felt like we would be able to fix it up ourselves pretty quickly, come home from work, fix it up. And we got a lot done. And then we decided to have kids, and that slowed things down significantly. So, you know, we make a lot of decisions, and of course, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. And 3 years ago, well, almost 4 years ago now, my husband passed away. And so when you buy a foreclosure or you buy a fixer-upper, you have to remember that not only do you have the repairs currently of the house, but you have normal upkeep to do as well. That's one of my biggest things that I would like people to think about when you're thinking about buying a foreclosure, is to remember that you're going to have to not only fix this house up, but you're going to have to continue to maintain it as well, because things happen, leaks happen, water heaters malfunction. All of these things are just normal upkeep. They are not, if you're lucky, they don't happen to you. No, it's just normal upkeep. Everything that we have in our house has a lifetime. And so when that lifetime is over, it could be shorter, it could be long, you have to replace it. And so you have to have those things, you have to have those things covered in your savings, whatever money that you have in order to, that's going towards your house. So after my husband passed away, we signed up for this program, and it is the Houston Home Repair Program, because things, one after the other, after the other, after the other, were just breaking down. And like I said, that's normal. You know, that's part of owning a house. But when you don't have the capacity to maintain it, that's where the trouble lies, and things just go down and down and down and down. And so we were accepted into the program, but it took 3 years in order for them to say, okay, we're ready to do it. So I wasn't sure if anybody was going to come. So I had little by little started you know, doing the things that I could. I was always doing the things that I could to repair things. The people from my church have been amazing. From jump, we had our water heater. It didn't burst. It failed. You know, all the water was on the floor. And they helped us to get that repaired. AC went out twice, I believe. Yes, I know. Twice. Helped us with that. So those things I'm just so grateful for, and just leaks and different things like that. They've helped us just to keep going, surviving in a space that was less than perfect. I'll just put it like that, because it's not the worst situation, of course, but it's not necessarily the best. It is what it is. And now we are to the point where the city has come in, and they're going to help us. They're helping us repair the things that desperately need to be repaired. And then some of the things that just are cosmetic, that are just kind of extra, that I'm just so grateful for, like paint and stuff like that. Because we did paint the whole house when we got here, but you know, having a house freshly painted, if you've ever gotten a chance to do that, like the whole house, you know what I mean. It's just, it's one of those things that makes it feel so good. And then when you have a house full, when your house is full of stuff, you have 15 years of kids in life, you know, moving things to paint, and work and take care of them as a single mom is not necessarily one of your priorities. So yeah, I'm just so grateful to have this. And so my biggest regret is that I wish we had added money on top of our loan in order to do all of the repairs up front. That way, no matter what happened in our future, we would have at least come into the house with a clean slate. Shortly before my husband passed away, we came downstairs one day and there was water flowing down that window like a waterfall. And it was coming from the pipe that goes from the kitchen to the water heater. And there was water all over the floor here, and then water just flowing outside. And at the time, we had nothing. Like, we had nothing. No way of getting it repaired. We had nothing. And, which is a whole different topic. But he went up in the ceiling and he fixed it himself. And to this day, you know, in the back of my mind, I wonder, is that how he caught the 1 in a million chance of, the 1 in a million case of meningitis that he had when he passed away? But something I'll probably never know. But he went up there and he fixed it. And then shortly after he passed away, the people from the church found out that it was just a hole in the ceiling, and they came and patched it. But it was just, you know, it was just drywall. And so they finished it. They replaced the light. And just having ceilings, it's the simple things, the little things, that just really make me kind of emotional and give me just great joy, gratitude for all of this. Now, even if we had just gotten an extra $10,000, $15,000, we could have done the things that we were good at, painting, you know, changing out all the door handles, different things like that. And then we could have let professionals do things that they're trained to do. So yes, that is my biggest regret. I wish we had done that. And that's definitely something I would highly recommend, unless you have flipped or done house repairs before, or you're very, you know, closely related to someone who is going to help you. But even with that, you know, you don't know. We don't know our future, so we can't say what's going to happen tomorrow. So yes, I would have done that in hindsight. All right, time for a tour. This is my kitchen. First of all, I have this odd little breakfast area that I'm trying to figure out a better solution for how to organize that. Before, it was just like, you know, table sitting there. It was just too much going on. You'll see from the before pictures. So This was the breakfast area, and it's going to continue to be, my plan is that it will be like a station for them to come in, take their shoes off, take their backpacks off, and we already have some little cubbies that will hopefully fit right there. And then I am hoping to turn the rest of this little area right here into more of the breakfast eating area. But we did not have cabinet doors, and so they have given us all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, actually drawers, because some of the drawers were missing. And I was able to go ahead and get a few, or a couple, not a few, a couple new appliances that we've been desperately needing. They should be in sometime soon. So yeah, this is the kitchen. We started off already with granite countertops. They didn't give us granite countertops. We had these already before. That was one of the things back when I was working as an architect. I had some contacts that I could use and get this for rather inexpensive. So the countertop and the backsplash was already here. We were missing some outlets. We're not electricians, so that was one of the things we definitely should have hired somebody to do, but just never got around to it. Cabinet doors, we built them once ourselves, and we just weren't very good at it. I built this myself. I'm very proud of that. There was that old like little plastic sheet with fluorescent lighting, and I built that myself. But the cabinet doors, we just weren't good enough. You know, like you can't, I mean, you can do everything, but maybe you shouldn't do everything. I don't know. Then there's a ton of stuff that I am going to do myself. Like give this fireplace some love. It needs some love, so we're gonna do that. We do need some new light fixtures in different areas of the house that wasn't covered, you know, under what they're gonna do. This is my family room. Wide shot. And it really is, it makes me realize like why we bought the house. It really does have so much potential that we just were never able to realize. We were never able to fully realize because, you know, we couldn't get done what we wanted to get done to it. But they've painted our doors, or at least the exterior doors, and we are getting new windows and we are getting a new roof. So those are the biggest things that are just so nice. They fixed our sink. Our sink was, you know, it had failed, and I actually bought the new faucet and just didn't have anybody to install it for us, so they installed it for us. Yeah, this is, you know, it's all single mom issues that I never thought I would have to deal with, but it is what it is. Let's go in my sewing room. Really, it's not a whole lot of stuff that they've done in here, but you guys can see how much, like, you guys knew I had a lot of space. But this is the formal living room, and that is the formal dining room, and all of this is what I use for my sewing space. Yes, I do. And I think I'm not sure how I'm going to set it up this time, if it's going to be the same or if it's going to be different, because I have a clean slate. But I will definitely be doing a new sewing room tour. I love doing those for you guys. And yeah, so you guys know that for my last one, there's some things that I really enjoy in the apartment that I want to see in here. So we're going to see if we can make that happen. All right, so that is the downstairs bathroom that leads into my walk-in closet or my thrift store. If you've seen my other house tour videos or whatever, room videos, then that's where the thrift store is. Which doesn't make sense if you're just watching this video for the first time, but yeah, I'll link it here. But this is the bathroom that I was talking about that was just trashed. Because during, there was a storm called Allison that came and put about 12 inches of water in this house. It was in 2001. And So the countertop, the basin, that bottom of it was eaten up, and the more the years went on, it just got worse and worse and worse. Not salvageable. They had to completely take it out. All around the behind the toilet was trash, and you can see, you know what year this house was born. This is terrazzo. I'm struggling with this color. I know this stuff is coming back in, like these colors and stuff, but I can't deal. You guys will see the final result to see what I actually do to it. But yeah, that's not tickling my fancy right now. But they put in a new light fixture there and put in a new toilet, and they fixed the shower. The shower was pretty bad, and I'm going to get a new shower door for that bathroom, and then of course new window, and I'll get a new light fixture for that. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it needs something. And of course they'll be putting in a new basin and sink and everything like that. But yes, that's about it. I'm gonna try to go to Habitat to see if I can find replacement doors. All of our doors are like pretty, you know, they're the cheapest of the cheap. Like, they're just a slab, but they're not even like a slab. They're hollow. So some of them have holes in them. And that's not on the list of the contractor's things to do. So yeah, that's my fixer-upper story. Super hollow in here. That's my fixer-upper story. I hope that you guys can take away from this that consider the future, consider that you don't know everything, and in the same sense, be wise about the decisions that you make. So going into a house and you've never fixed up a house before, and you don't have a whole, you haven't taken out any extra money or saved a whole, a bunch of extra money in order to do the repairs. And if you plan on doing it little by little, and you've never done that before, let this be a cautionary tale. But definitely it's nothing to be afraid of. It's just something, you should, after you've done your research and you feel comfortable with the step that you're making, absolutely be afraid and do it anyway. But make sure that you're going into it with the full knowledge and everything that you need in order to make sure that happens. Because one thing you don't want, like I said, the repairs and the regular maintenance to come down on you all at the same time. It's not a situation I would wish on my worst enemy. And I think that that's probably one of the ways a lot of people just walk away from their houses, because it becomes overwhelming. So I know that a ton of foreclosures are forecast to come onto the market pretty soon. If you are fortunate enough to be able to swoop in and, take advantage of some of those things, then, hopefully this helps you to make wise decisions and make successful decisions and go forth and have a beautiful, gorgeous home that you can grow in and love for many, many years to come. So yeah, I really, really hope you guys have enjoyed this tour. Yeah, we're just super grateful, super, super grateful that all this has happened to us. All of this is happening to us in spite of all that has happened. But yeah, we will see you guys in the next one. If you are at all interested in DIY fashion, I have a ton of videos over here for you guys, as well as I will be doing a full tour when we're back in and have it all decorated and everything like that. So definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!